Hey everybody, it's Deanna, and this video will involve a few health updates, some good and some unexpected. So I have had a lot of doctor's appointments these past few months. Late July, I had my mammogram. That came back benign. And I had my MRIs in, that was either late July or early August, and my MR angiograms late August. The neurologist got those results, but they've not been reviewed yet. And I'm assuming if they were important, she would contact me immediately, but I have a follow-up with her in October. And also in August, I had an appointment with the retinal specialist. The spot they found on one of my eyes is stable. Woo! So I don't need to go back to them for a year. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because those retinal specialist trips are a trek and they are long. The appointments are long. The dentist came back fine too. The usual, Miss Howard, you have nice teeth. See you in 6 months. And I had recently a doctor's appointment with my primary care doctor. And I also had to get a lot of lab work done. And I was having stomach issues that week. So not only did I get the lab work done, I was told that weekend to eat bland foods and also to stop taking magnesium. And I did that, and my stomach issues seemed to have gone away. And I also had to do one more lab the Monday after my appointment, and all the tests were done. And my doctor reviewed the results, and I would say maybe about a week, close to a week after my appointment, she sends me a message. Most of my results were good. Most of them were good. But my cholesterol was still high. And I am now taking a medication for my high cholesterol, which is the generic version of Lipitor. And another thing she said was that my blood sugar was still high. There's no change from my last lab work, and that I have type 2 diabetes. I would say I was numb when she sent that message. I was numb. I didn't cry. I didn't throw things or get angry, but I felt numb. But at the same time, I accepted the results. I was shocked too, because I was so used to when I was younger, having all my doctor's appointments be, Miss Howard, you're healthy, you're fine, see you in 6 months, see you in a year. And now it's, we're finding this wrong with you, we're finding that wrong with you. You may have had a stroke, you have high blood pressure, you have high cholesterol, and now you have type 2 diabetes. But even though I was numb, I got at it. I looked up the American Diabetes Association's website, and I read a lot of things on there. I followed their social media as well. And I'm looking up things on Google. What can people with type 2 diabetes eat? What are restaurants for diabetics? Because I'm thinking about how my mother and I would go out to dinner from time to time. And it used to be, we can go anywhere. But now I have to be more cautious about where I go and what I eat. As of recording this video, I have not yet told my mother, and she will want to know. I am going to tell her before I publish this video, because she would say, Deanna, Chanel, Mimi, Billy, Brandon, Debbie, Deanna. She'll go through all my siblings' names and her sister's name, my aunt's name, and get back to my name. But anyway, you better tell me what's going on with you. And I tell her I'm not going to tell her everything going on in my life, but I will tell her what I feel comfortable discussing and what I feel I should discuss. But I'm not telling her everything in my life, but that is something I will tell her. And I know she's going to fret, and she's going to worry, and she's religious, so she'll start praying, even though I tell her I'm not religious. I tell people all the time, I'm not religious. Don't pray for me. Mm-mm-mm. I know that she's going to take it hard. And I have brought up my concerns with her before about, because when I was getting the high, prior to this, when I was getting the high cholesterol and the high blood sugar readings, and originally thought I was pre-diabetic, she was saying, you can get through this. You can eat healthier, and you walk all the time. And that's another thing. That's another thing that surprised me, because while my diet has not been perfect, I have been making an effort to eat healthier, and I walk all the time. My sleep could be better. I told my doctor my sleep could be better, because on average I get 2 to 4 hours of sleep during the week, which is not healthy. I know. And but during the weekend I get 8 hours of sleep, and I walk all the time. And they say that diabetics are obese. I'm not obese. I've gained weight over the years during the pandemic, but I maintain a healthy weight. So how could this have happened? And that's what caught me off guard. How could this have happened? And I think I have other health issues too. As I've mentioned, they think I may have had a stroke. And I'm thinking, a stroke? How the hell did I have a stroke? Wouldn't I have known if I had had a stroke? Oh, Lord. And I have fibroids. That's another thing that's been giving me problems. I've been taking medication to help with those. And I've not had issues with my, and we monitor the fibroids, I'd say maybe I had my last ultrasound for those last year. My gynecologist said that they grew a little, but they haven't grown to the point of concern. So we're just going to keep monitoring those. And the high blood pressure, the spot found in one of my eyes, now diabetes. And there are a lot of things. I'll admit this. I was very ignorant about diabetes prior to this, and I still to a degree am. I'm still learning a lot. I'm still researching things. I'm still figuring things out. My knowledge about diabetes was Stacy McGill from the Babysitters Club. She was the sophisticated one from New York. And I knew nothing about it. All I knew was that don't eat sugar, have to take insulin. I knew nothing about it. But there are the two types. I do know that. There's type 1 and type 2, which I have. And but I am becoming more, I am learning more, and I am figuring things out one day at a time. And there's a show that used to come on called Stargirl. And that show, even though the main cast were supposed to be teenagers, the actors were over 18, it was a show that could reach a lot of people because it did cater to the adults too. And two of the actors on that show, Brett Bassinger, who played the lead character, and Cameron Gelman, they were both type 1 diabetics. And they would do videos talking about it. And they're very open about their experiences and how, since they're both on the show and they can work with each other, help each other if they're dealing with low blood sugar, help each other with their insulin injections. And that was very helpful to me. And this is before I knew I even had anything diabetic related. But that was very helpful to me. That openness, that transparency, and making the understanding of it more accessible. But for me, I do not have to take insulin. As far as I know, I do not have to take insulin. The doctor put me on metformin to help lower my blood sugars. And I have to change my diet drastically. As I mentioned, there are things that I either have to eat in moderation or I cannot eat at all. And the grapefruit, I can't have grapefruit anymore, or grapefruit juice, anything related to grapefruit, because that would counteract with, I believe, the generic Lipitor. So I can't have that anymore. And I have to be my own advocate, because I can't go to one of these restaurants and assume that the 20-year-old server is going to know what I'm talking about or know anything about the nutritional contents of a certain meal. Because a lot of the local restaurants, the ones that are independent, smaller businesses, they don't have nutritional facts on their menu. They cook from the heart. They cook from the soul. And when I was looking up restaurants for diabetics, it was showing me a lot of chain restaurants. I don't want to go to a chain restaurant, but the chain restaurants tend to have more nutritional facts. So I can monitor what sugar is in it or not in it, what salt is in it or not in it. I also have to make sure I don't eat too many salty things to watch my cholesterol, my blood pressure. And I have to advocate for myself. Because I don't want to go to a restaurant and have the server who's like some 20-year-old young person and ask about the salt and sugar content and have them say, well, I think it's healthy. Yeah, it could be, maybe, I don't know. I have to advocate for myself. And everyone's situation is different. Everyone's situation depends on who they are, their body chemistry, their medical history, their diet. It depends on who they are. And this is where I have to stress. I do not want medical advice. I do not want unsolicited suggestions or advice on what I can do. And I will not approve comments that don't respect my wishes. I am curious about alternative medicines. I'm interested in alternative medicines. I am interested in seeing an herbalist. I would not mind doing that in the future, but I am going to try medication for now. And I want to see how medication goes. And this is not my primary care doctor, as I mentioned in a previous video. She will be moving out of the area, but I do have one more appointment with her in November to see how things are going along since this diagnosis and since I've been taking these medications. And I was going to list of things that are healthy to eat, things with fiber, things with lower sodium content, leafy greens, beans, nuts, things like that. And as I mentioned, the American Diabetes Association's website has a lot of great recipes there. Because I was worried I had to eat cardboard tasting bland food. Ooh. During the weekend, when I had to eat bland food, I ate plain brown rice, nothing else with it, and it tasted like cardboard. I like brown rice, but I like it with other things. But not, I don't have to eat as blandly, but I do still have to eat cautiously. And then what else I want to say? There was something else I wanted to say. Just lost my mind, left my mind. Getting older, folks, getting older. I was talking about changing my diet. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. There are a lot of places I used to go to that I took for granted. There's a Filipino bakery called Winnie's, and they recently opened a location in Northern Virginia. And I was so excited. I said, yeah, I don't have to go to Rockville anymore to get their goodies. And I posted on their social media saying that I'm so glad you opened, and I'll now be a frequent customer. But I can't have their stuff as frequently. I can't have their stuff as frequently as I'd like anymore because I have to monitor my sugar intake. I have to monitor what I eat. And there are so many good, delicious places with delicious food that I was so excited to go to, or that I used to go to regularly, but I have to monitor everything, and there's some places I can't go to anymore, or can't go to as frequently as I used to. So that's going to be an adjustment too. But all I can do, I'm not going to feel pity. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I've accepted this diagnosis, and I'm going to do what I can to get through the day to day. I started monitoring, I started logging my foods on my Fitbit, but Fitbit seems to focus more on carbs. I would like to, if anyone knows of an app that focuses more on the sugar and sodium, let me know, because I do want to monitor my sugar and my sodium in some way. But I have been logging my foods on Fitbit, and it focuses more on the calories and burning calories, and I'm more concerned about the sugar and the sodium input and whatnot. But I'm going to take this one day at a time. I've had a lot thrown my way these past few years, and especially this year. But I'm not defeated. I'm not going to act in pity. I'm going to take this one day at a time. I am not going to let type 2 diabetes or any other damn health issue slow me down or bring me down. I'm going to take this one day at a time, and that's all I can do. I'll be okay, folks. If you have liked this video and you want to hear more from me, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take care, folks. Have a good night.